So let's go back to our two examples, the medical model and the spam email model. Recall that for the medical model, we have four possibilities. A true positive, which is when the patient is sick and we correctly diagnose them as sick. A true negative, which is when the patient is not sick and we correctly diagnose them as not sick. A false positive, which is when the patient is healthy and we incorrectly diagnose them as sick. And finally, a false negative, which is when the patient is sick and we incorrectly diagnose them as healthy. Now let's forget about the two correct ones and focus only on the mistakes. Below we'll have a quiz. Which one do you think is worse, a false positive or a false negative? In other words, what is a worse mistake, to misdiagnose a healthy patient as sick or a sick patient as healthy? Now let's go back to our other model, the spam email model. So we have two emails, one non-spam from our grandma telling us she baked cookies, and one spam from a questionable source. Recall that for this model, we again have four possibilities. A true positive, which is when the spam email gets correctly sent into the spam folder. A true negative, which is when our grandma's email gets correctly sent into the inbox folder. A false positive, which is when our grandma's email accidentally gets sent to the spam folder. And finally, a false negative, which is when a spam email accidentally gets sent to our inbox. Now again, let's forget about the two correct ones and focus only on the mistakes. So below there will be another quiz. Which one do you think is worse, a false positive or a false negative? In other words, what is a worse mistake, to accidentally send your grandma's email to the spam folder or to accidentally send a spam email into your inbox? Enter your answers below.